Greetings, fellow classmates, and welcome to all proud parents, honored guests, and loyal and admired faculty. Thank you so much for joining the SHS class of 2024 for this wonderful occasion. We will hear from several speakers today, and since this is graduation, I feel certain you will hear much about next steps, goals, and goal settings. After all, goals are important. President Reagan once discussed the importance of goals, of setting lofty goals that are hard to reach. He told about driving through a small town on an old and washed out dirt road. Maybe he was in Fairmount. He saw a chicken in the road, which also leads me to believe he really was in Fairmount. As he approached the chicken, it ran into the road and started running alongside his car. For fear of hitting the chicken, the president moved over and increased his speed to leave the chicken safely behind him. However, the chicken sped up too. So the president increased his speed again, and so did the chicken. As the president reached about 40 miles per hour, he noticed the chicken had 3 legs. And the 3-legged chicken pulled out in front of President Reagan's car and made a hard right turn into a long driveway. The president followed and reached an old farmhouse. The farmer quickly came out and was surprised to find President Reagan in his muddy driveway. With no introductions required, President Reagan told the farmer about his experience with the 3-legged chicken. The farmer explained to the president that he raised 3-legged chickens with a goal to increase his chicken leg production. Impressed, the president asked the farmer how his chickens tasted. The farmer shrugged and replied that he didn't know because he had never been able to catch them. So, I hope you all set goals just like the president's 3-legged chicken. I pray they are plentiful, lofty, and hard to catch, because those goals will be worth it when you do finally reach and catch them. So again, I know you will hear all about goals and next steps today, and I want to focus on 3 other aspects that are along a slightly different path. First, do not let anyone, including yourselves, diminish the magnitude of this accomplishment. Today is a wonderful day, and it is a wonderful accomplishment. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I want to congratulate Paul on being our valedictorian, and it is a wonderful achievement. I think it came down to the wire, and he got me, but I was never sad about it. At an early age, Ricky Bobby's dad had him convinced that if you aren't first, then you're last. Ricky was disillusioned by this for decades. However, in the end, Ricky and his dad both learned there are a lot more options. There's second, there's third, and heck, there's even fourth. This might seem like a ridiculous example, but there's a real point. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter how you stack against others. Be the best you that you can be, and the other things will take care of themselves. I'm proud of Paul, that is graduating first, Carter that is third, and Hannah that is fourth, and everyone else here. Congratulations to every one of us. And by the way, I don't know who it is, but someone here is number 289. Do you know what they call the doctor that finishes dead last in medical school? They call him a doctor. So graduates, congratulations on your accomplishment. Second, I beg each of you to devote this day to being a turning point in your lives. This concept stems from the magnitude of this accomplishment that I just discussed. I encourage my fellow classmates to deflect the credit today for this wonderful accomplishment. Here's the reason. I want to thank teachers and coaches like Coach Mashburn that have prioritized their students and players above themselves. I didn't lose many high school tennis matches, but I lost 2 that were very big. Both of these 2 examples were season ending. They were both matches where, if I had won, our team would advance further into the playoffs. I will never forget the humbling, sad, and defeated feeling when these few points fell the wrong way, and I realized I had let down my teammates. It's a crippling weight that hits more suddenly than I can verbalize. In both cases, Coach Mashburn found me faster than I know how, put his arm around my shoulder, and assured me that he and my team were proud of my battle and our season. He worried more about me than about a win. Every single one of us have a teacher that has made a difference for us. They've gone to bat for us, they've stayed out late for us, and they've inspired us. Before you leave today, please find, thank, and give credit to those teachers for this milestone. The same goes for your family members. My parents and grandparents supported me in every way possible, financially, emotionally, physically, academically, with their time, with their prayers, and so much more. Mom, Dad, my grandparents, my church family, and others, thank you for everything. Likewise, class of 2024, each of you have family or friends that have been there for you, and at the least, this milestone would have been so much harder without their support. Please go to them and tell them how much you appreciate them. Make sure they know this honor belongs to them too. And of course, I know my God has watched over me for my entire life, even before I knew he was there. Please, before you let your head hit your pillow tonight, make sure to offer thanks to God for this wonderful accomplishment and milestone. I can't imagine having to go through life, its struggles, and its challenges without knowing that God is in control. Especially during this last year and with my college search, I have prayed for the wrong doors to be closed and the right doors to be open. Over and again, God has answered my prayers. Please remember to give him thanks. After all, getting through all those hard days, I knew I could do all things through Christ who strengthened me. It was his strength, not mine. And this is a perfect lead-in into my last challenge for you. You will face new struggles soon, and I beg you to keep plowing ahead. I've been reminded by others many times lately that I'm about to face new challenges and everything is not going to go my way. The Dean of Science at Truett McConnell has warned me that every college freshman hits a brick wall anywhere from 3 to 10 weeks into their first semester. Something goes wrong at home, something goes wrong in class, the workload gets too big, someone gets homesick, or for any of the million different reasons, there will be a brick wall that we will each encounter. Some students will give up and go home forever, and others will endure and move on. The brick walls will keep coming, but this team promised that they will get easier. This isn't because the brick walls get smaller, but it's because we get better at handling them. And this isn't just for college students. It will happen in the workforce, in tech school, in family life, and anywhere we go. It's even biblical. In 2 Corinthians 12, Paul says, "Therefore, so that I would not exalt myself, a thorn in my flesh was given to me, a messenger of Satan to torment me so that I would not exalt myself. Concerning this, I pleaded with the Lord 3 times that it would leave me." And many of us know the story. God didn't take away Paul's thorn, but instead God reminded Paul that his grace is sufficient for you, for his power is perfected in weakness. Where we are weak, he is strong. When you face your own brick walls, please don't give up. Rely on God, rely on family, and rely on friends. Let their strength shine and be a part of your life. Don't be ashamed of it. Just like Paul, boast in your willingness to depend on others when we are weak. In the same manner, also support those around you when they are struggling too. Help where you can, and I encourage you to remind them about Paul's account. In closing, I want to steal a quote from the 2020 Salutatorian, one that shares my same last name. Just to note, he might have been valedictorian, but my GPA was higher than his. He said, "Fellow Phoenix, I love you and I miss you already. I will pray for you daily. I pray you reach and catch your worthwhile goals, and most importantly, I pray I see you all on the other side of eternity. Go Phoenix."